Because my heartless boss wouldn't pay his debt, I decided to take his wife as payment instead. Just then, a stunning, curvaceous beauty stood right in front of me. Ding! Host has been detected developing lustful thoughts towards a beautiful woman. Like, follow, and comment. 666. To awaken the bad boy system. This system is dedicated to helping the host conquer all kinds of women. Its goal is to forge a top-tier bad boy. The more high-quality women you conquer, the richer the system's rewards will be. Find now and receive the Invincible Dragon Lance skill as a free gift. Thrusting hundreds, even thousands of times in minutes is a piece of cake. Looking down, I saw my little brother was finally back in business. I exclaimed in amazement, I'm finally a man again. Just then, the beautiful young wife walked out of the room holding cash. The first thing she noticed was my exaggerated state. She was so startled her face instantly flushed crimson, her eyes turning sultry. A wicked, charming smirk crept across my face. I stared playfully at the woman before me, and she, in turn, put on a show of flirtatious annoyance. She even swayed her hips deliberately, creating a seismic event. You are so rude. It's so late, and we're all alone. How can you look at a girl like that? What? You don't like it when I look? I smirked wickedly, my lips twisting to one side. Oh, stop it. Here's your money. With that, the woman walked right up to me. She bent over, placing the money on the coffee table. I could see she was only wearing a silk nightgown. And through it, a certain scene that shouldn't have been visible came into view. Seeing this, I suddenly felt a surge of thirst. The woman noticed my reaction, too. A pleasant surprise flashed through her mind. Zhao Rulong, you absolute bastard. You dare to fool around out there? Well, I'm going to have my own fun right here at home. Ding. Woman detected to be itching for action with the host. Name, Yan Ruyu. Height, 168. Measurements, 87, 66, 88. Husband, Zhao Rulong, a chronic womanizer. As a result, he contracted a venereal disease, leaving Yan Ruyu to sleep alone year after year. She has long harbored resentment for her husband, Zhao Rulong, and has been desperate to find a young stud. Looking at the system panel in front of me, I thought to myself. Wow, so that's what she's after. Didn't I just show up at the perfect time? Heh Zhao Rulong, since you owe me money, it's only fair I make you a cuckold, right? Right then, I decided to play a little hard to get. I picked up the money from the coffee table, and made a show of getting up to leave, but just as I started to turn, I heard Yan Ruyu yelp from behind me. She faked twisting her ankle and fell right into my arms. Having anticipated this, I turned and caught her, getting a full embrace. Oh, I'm dizzy. My body feels so weak, I can't walk. Can you help me to my room to rest for a bit? I chuckled slyly. I am at your service, madam. 2.5 hours later. Yan Ruyu was completely spent. Her eyes were hazy, and her forehead was covered in a fine sheen of sweat. Ding! Congratulations, host, for completing a 1000 hit combo. Male charisma and appearance have automatically increased by 10 points. Why'd I feel like you've suddenly gotten more handsome? Madam, perhaps beauty is just in the eye of the beholder. I let out a devilish laugh. Oh, you little rascal. I never expected you to be so impressive. And your own stamina is nothing to scoff at, madam. Just as we were teasing each other, the bedroom door was slammed open with a bang. What are you two doing? Zhao Rulong stared, dumbfounded, at the scene on the bed. His voice was laced with unconcealable shock. Ding! Congratulations, host, for landing a critical psychological hit on your love rival. Reward. Wing Chun Master Skill. Yan Ruyu, you shameless whore. I'm going to tell your parents. Zhao Rulong was fuming with rage. Pa! Yan Ruyu suddenly leapt off the bed. She stood barefoot in front of Zhao Rulong. I have put up with this for 3 whole years. And none of it was as satisfying as the last 2 hours. So go on, tell them. You useless freeloader, how dare you go crying to my family? Zhao Rulong was trembling with rage. He pointed at me and said, so, it was you, Chin Dagon. Yeah, that's right. Got a problem, weakling? Who the fuck are you calling a weakling? Zhao Rulong roared. Your wife said you're small. And you don't pay your debts. Tell me, aren't you just a dog? Small and a dog. If you're not a pathetic mutt, who is? I smirked, dragging out my words. I'll fucking kill you. At that moment, Zhao Rulong's eyes were bloodshot. Furious, he charged straight at me. I rolled off the bed. I landed a Wing Chun punch right in his chest, knocking him flat on the ground. A minute later, Zhao Rulong was sprawled on the floor, bawling his eyes out from the beating I gave him. Zhao Rulong, are you going to get the hell out? What are you doing just lying there? You useless freeloader, and you still dare to fool around out there? Get out of this house today. Hearing that, Zhao Rulong scrambled to his feet and scurried out of the room with his tail between his legs. Wow, I had no idea you were such a great fighter on top of having all that stamina. I'm such a lucky girl. After Zhao Rulong left, Yan Ruyu, still not satisfied, pressed herself against me again. I quickly moved away, saying, Mrs. Zhao, not today. Even an ox needs a break, you know. Yan Ruyu pouted. A minute ago, you were calling me, sweetie. Now that you're done, it's back to, Mrs. Zhao. You just sent Zhao Ralome running. Am I still Mrs. Zhao? I gave her a wicked smile and pinched her on the waist, saying, Hee, then you're my little sweetie. I looked down at the woman snuggled in my arms, sighing at how I was 30 years old with nothing to show for it. Just trying to get my paycheck, I'd somehow ended up involved with my boss's wife. This is the only way to succeed and be surrounded by women. Ding, system has detected the host's desire for money. Temporary mission. Sugar baby function activated. If the host can secure an investment from a wealthy woman, random skill will be awarded. What the hell? This system is so messed up. Is it actually encouraging me to be a sugar baby? Am I, Chin Dagon, that kind of guy? What about my principles? Ahem, but for a free skill I guess I can make a little sacrifice. Darling, why the long face? Is it something I did? Am I not good enough for you? As expected of an experienced, wealthy woman, Yan Ruyu saw right through me. Sweetie, of course you're more than good enough, I said, letting out a long, deliberate sigh. I turned my head away, putting on a melancholic expression. Then what is it? What's wrong? Come on, tell me. Maybe I can help. It's my problem, you can't help me, I said, deliberately shaking my head. If you don't tell me right now, I'm going to get angry, you know. Yan Ruyu turned her head away with a cute pout. I figured the time was right. I cleared my throat a couple of times. Sweetie, as you know, a man is supposed to be established by the time he's 30, but I've achieved nothing. It's eating me up inside. What's the big deal? 30 is the perfect age to start making your big moves. Whatever you want to do, just go for it. That's easy for you to say. I sighed. If I only had the money. Do you think I'd be risking my life fighting Zhao Ralome over 3,000 yuan? Hee, but if you hadn't come looking for that money, how would you have ever met me? Yan Ruyu said with a giggle, giving me a sultry look. Here, I'll give you 100,000 to start. If it's not enough, just let me know. And don't even think about paying me back. Just remember the good things about me and come visit often, that's all I ask. For a rich girl like Yan Ruyu, 100,000 is just pocket change. I love how refreshingly direct that is. I secretly kicked myself, feeling like I just missed out on 100 million. Ding! Congratulations, host, on successfully freeloading for the first time. You have absorbed the mysterious yin energy to nourish yourself. Achieving the effect of getting stronger the more you fight. This is just too awesome. Sweetheart, you're too good to me. I'll have to reward you properly. Hee, didn't you just say you were out of energy? Yan Ruyu giggled charmingly. That was then, this is now. I'm pretty much fully recovered. I let out a wicked laugh and pounced on her like a hungry wolf. A beautiful rhythm played out, lasting until the next morning. Babe, I'm begging you, I'm so sleepy, pleaded Yan Ruyu, a woman who had been starved for years. Today, she wasn't just satisfied, she was stuffed to the point of bursting. Sweetheart, you get some rest. I'm heading out now. I got dressed, ready to leave. At that moment, Yan Ruyu was dizzy and her vision was blurry. Her entire body ached from head to toe. She didn't dare ask me to stay any longer. In stark contrast to her, I was buzzing with energy. I felt 100 times more refreshed than after a full night of high-quality sleep. As I walked out of the luxury penthouse, I glanced at the 100,000 yuan in my pocket, and man, I felt amazing. In my youth, I didn't appreciate the sweet life of freeloading, and wasted my prime toiling away. Luckily, the system found me a sugar mama. A sugar mama is a ray of light in the darkness. As long as you hold on to your sugar mama, you'll be moving into a mansion overnight. Leaving the sweet embrace of Yan Ruyu after our battle all night yesterday, I felt like my spine was about to snap. Even though I have the dragon spear, I don't have an iron back to go with it. If it weren't for the system's boost, I probably wouldn't even be able to walk right now. No wonder that Zhao Ralome guy gets anxious just seeing Yan Ruyu. No one but me could handle her. I staggered my way to the door of my rented apartment. Before I could even take out my keys, I noticed the door was already unlocked. Holy crap, did I get robbed? My heart skipped a beat. I was instantly on alert, but I quickly calmed myself down. After all, the most valuable thing in my place is me. There's nothing else worth taking. I mean, if a burglar saw my room, he'd probably burst into tears and leave me 200 bucks out of pity. Just as I was about to go in and check things out, the door was suddenly pulled open from the inside. Pan Lian, what are you doing here? I asked, a surprised look on my face. My expression turned cold. I never, ever would have expected that the person opening the door would be Pan Lian, who had moved out ages ago. Pan Lian was my ex-fiancé. We met on a blind date. To be honest, Pan Lian is actually pretty good looking. She's not what you'd call a perfect 10. But with a bit of makeup, she's definitely easy on the eyes. When we first met, I figured I wasn't getting any younger, and my family was nagging me so much about getting married that my ears were about to fall off. I just wanted to find someone to settle down with and shut up all my nosy relatives. She was one of those types who'd had her fun while she was young. I guess she got tired of it, and seeing that I was willing to pay the full bride price of 120,000 yuan, she reluctantly accepted. Little did I know that I would work myself to the point of a physical breakdown for that woman's bride price, giving me all sorts of urinary problems. I ended up as her personal ATM, and that bitch spent my money like crazy. After she'd blown through all my savings, she just up and left without a second thought. If I hadn't been smart enough to keep another card with 100,000 yuan that she never knew about, I'd be completely broke right now. What's worse is that when that woman saw I was out of money and was useless in bed, she didn't just dump me. She made sure to insult me on her way out. If we're talking about my mortal enemy from a past life, Zhao Rilong, he'd be number 2 at best. This bitch takes the top spot. This room, I can't come here anymore. Pan Lian shot me an annoyed glare, her face filled with contempt. Hey, this is my rental now. What right do you have to be here? I forced a smile. You think I give a damn about coming to this shithole of yours? I'm here to get my things. Pan Lian scoffed. She looked around the room with disgust. I have a gold necklace. I've been searching for ages and can't find it. Tell me, did you take it and sell it? Stop acting crazy. What the hell does your missing necklace have to do with me? Besides, even if I did have it, it would be my property. I'm the one who gave it to you. I almost laughed out of sheer anger at this woman. I cursed myself. I must have been out of my damn mind to fall for a piece of work like her. A gift is a gift. It's mine, and let me tell you something. If you don't produce my gold necklace today, I'm not done with you. Pan Lian put her hands on her hips, her voice screeching. She was the very image of a shrew. I couldn't be bothered with her. I pushed past Pan Lian, who was blocking the doorway, and went inside. I shouldn't have gone in. The moment I stepped inside, I saw red. In the rental unit, clothes, pants, socks, and underwear were scattered everywhere as if a tornado had hit. It was obvious someone had just ransacked the place. But what made me absolutely fume was what I saw on my poor little bed. The blanket was a crumpled mess, and on the sheet were a few long hairs that weren't mine, and even a pungent smell. I didn't need to guess. Pan Lian had just been fooling around with someone in here. Pan Lian, you explain this to me right now. What the hell is going on here? I pointed around my home, my voice trembling with rage. What's going on? I was looking for my things. So I tossed some cabinets. What about it? She crossed her arms. Her chin was raised slightly as she looked at me provocatively. You fucking I couldn't hold back my anger any longer. I clenched my fists tightly, raising one up. Just as I was about to punch her, she taunted, oh my, what's this? Are you going to hit me? You useless piece of trash. What else can you do besides play dead in bed? Changhao, what are you standing there for? Get out here and see this. This loser actually dares to raise a hand to me. Seeing this, Pan Lian wasn't the least bit intimidated. Instead, she started shouting even more arrogantly. Her voice was sharp and piercing, as if it would tear through the roof. Coming, don't worry, baby. With an impatient grunt, the bathroom door was slammed open with a bang. A guy with bleached blonde hair and an earring, a pretty boy with a kind of wicked charm, was fastening his belt. As he swaggered out, he hadn't even bothered to pull his zipper all the way up. A strip of his colorful underwear was showing. He'd clearly just been using the bathroom in my apartment. Seeing this suddenly appeared Zhang Hao, my brow twitched. I understood everything in an instant. So this slut and this pretty boy hadn't just been ransacking my place. They'd been fucking screwing in my bed. It'd only been broken up for less than half a month. For her to find a man to sleep with this quickly. The only explanation I could think of was that the bitch had been two-timing me all along. Well, if it isn't the useless bastard who can't get it hard. What? Jealous seeing us so lovey-dovey. Are you super envious? The pretty boy sneered, looking at me sideways. A grin spread across his face. Hee, that's right. That's him, brother Hao. He's nothing like you. You can't even last a second. Ha ha ha. Pan Lian deliberately clung to the pretty boy's arm. She laughed with wild abandon. Ha ha ha, my baby's right. Trash is trash. You know what? Every time you couldn't satisfy her, she'd come running to me for comfort the next day. Tisk, tisk, tisk. How pathetic. Zhang Hao laughed, his arrogance on full display. Smack. With a sharp crack, a fiery red handprint appeared on Pan Lian's face. I was the one who'd hit her. And with that slap, I felt. I finally understand now. I was just too honest in the past. In this world, the kinder you are, the crueler the world is to you. The worse you are, the kinder the world is to you. You dare hit me? Pan Lian's face was full of disbelief. You bitch, you're exactly who I'm hitting. I'm going to finish you today. When Zhang Hao saw that I actually dared to hit Pan Lian right in front of him, he was instantly burning with rage. The rich kid's temper flared up. Although he was just messing around with Pan Lian, his pride was more important than anything. He would never allow someone to touch his woman in front of him. However, before he could even lunge forward, his vision blurred. Another crisp slap echoed. This time, he was the one who got hit. Zhang Hao's entire body spun like a top, exaggeratedly turning 3.5 times in midair. Then with a thud, he fell heavily to the ground. He spat out a mouthful of blood, mixed with a few pearly white teeth, which scattered across the floor. You have to understand, I now possess the strength of Tyson. You can imagine the force of that slap. Ding! System has detected that the host has beaten up his ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend, randomly awarding a yellow rank skill. Diamond Iron Waist. Can swing thousands of times a minute, no problem. Damn, even this can drop a skill? I was secretly thrilled. Yu Zhang Hao clutched his swollen cheek. Blood streamed from the corner of his mouth, and he was on the verge of tears. Staring in disbelief, he couldn't believe he'd been beaten so badly. His whole life, he, the young Master Zhang, had always been the one hitting others. No one had ever dared to hit him. What about me? Looks to me like you're asking for it. Just as Zhang Hao tried to get up and fight back, I sent another slap his way. Zhang Hao once again experienced the feeling of flying through the air. He spun in the air a few more times before crashing heavily to the ground again. This time, he fell even harder and couldn't get back up for a long time. You piece of trash. How dare you hit my man? You've got a death wish. Seeing Zhang Hao beaten so badly, Pan Lian forgot all about the pain in her own face and shrieked as she lunged at me. Like a rabid bitch, she started kicking and punching me. I didn't hold back and slapped her right back across the face. I viciously slapped Pan Lian with no less force than I'd used on Zhang Hao. The blow sent Pan Lian flying, her body slamming heavily against the wall. Then she crumpled to the floor like a pile of sludge, blood trickling from the corner of her mouth. Her hair was a mess, and there was no trace of her previous seductive charm. Yao Rao, you just wait. Do you have any idea who my dad is? I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'll never let you get away with this. Zhang Hao struggled to get up from the floor, clutching his swollen face. He pointed at me viciously, threatening me as his words slurred. As he spoke, he stumbled and scurried toward the door, clearly trying to run for backup. Slow down. Who said you could leave? My voice was ice cold, like a chilling winter wind. It made Zhang Hao's body shiver uncontrollably. His footsteps came to an abrupt halt. He turned around, trembling, and stammered, What else do you want? I walked up to him, looking down on him from above. My eyes were filled with contempt. Think you can just walk out of here? It's not that easy. You're going to clean up this room for me. Put everything back exactly how it was. Wash all the bed sheets and the quilt. Then, you can get the hell out of here. You're taking this too far. Zhang Hao was shaking with anger. He pointed at me but didn't dare to say another harsh word. Don't like it? Then get to cleaning. If you dare run your mouth again, I swear I'll slap you a few more times. I'll make sure you don't have a single tooth left in your mouth. My gaze grew even colder. My eyes were filled with a murderous intent. The kind of look a real killer gives you. Pampered rich boy like Zhang Hao had never seen anything like it. He shivered in fear and didn't dare say another word. All his earlier arrogance was completely gone. And just like that, under my blade-like gaze, that despicable pair, Pan Lian and Zhang Hao, trembling with fear, picked up everything in the room, piece by piece. They meticulously cleaned everything up and washed all the bedsheets and the quilt. Only when the room was back to how it was before did they flee the scene as if they had just been granted a full pardon. Looking like two stray dogs with their tails between their legs. The only thing I regretted was that the system didn't drop any more skills after that. After watching that pathetic, despicable pair leave, I finally let out a long sigh of relief. I took a nice, hot shower, changed into clean bedsheets, and lay down on the bed, quickly falling into a deep sleep. The day's events had left me completely exhausted. I'm going to make that piece of trash pay. How dare she hit me? Zhang Hao, what kind of man are you? Your woman gets beaten like that, and you don't even dare to make a peep? You actually just obediently cleaned her room for her? You're such a good-for-nothing. As soon as they stepped out of my rental apartment, Pan Lian erupted like a volcano at the bruised and swollen Zhang Hao, who was scrambling for his teeth on the ground. She launched into a tirade, but before Pan Lian could even finish her sentence, she took a heavy slap to the face that made her see stars. Half her face went numb. The one who hit her was none other than the same Zhang Hao who had been so timid just moments ago. Zhang Hao, you actually dared to hit me? You bastard, are you even a man? Pan Lian clutched her stinging cheek, staring at Zhang Hao in disbelief, tears welling up in her eyes. Her face was a mask of grievance and rage. You stupid bitch, don't think just because I messed around with you for a few days you can act like you're somebody. The number of women I, Zhang Hao, have played with since I was a kid is more than you can count on both hands. Who the hell do you think you are? Zhang Hao glared viciously at Pan Lian, his tone ice cold. Before we went in, you never told me that loser was so strong. If it weren't for you, you jinx, I wouldn't have suffered such a huge loss today. And been so humiliated. I'll kill you, Zhang Hao, you bastard. Pan Lian completely lost her mind. She screamed and lunged at Zhang Hao, flailing her arms, frantically pounding on his chest, her nails scratching bloody lines on his skin. Zhang Hao grabbed Pan Lian's wrists and threw her brutally to the side. He stared at her with a sinister look in his eyes and said coldly, "You stinking slut. If you dare cause any more trouble, get the hell away from me. Don't forget whose money you've been spending all this time. You washed up old bitch. If it weren't for the fact that you're still decent in bed, I would have kicked you to the curb a long time ago." Hearing Zhang Hao's blatant threat, Pan Lian instantly deflated like a popped balloon. She didn't dare to act up again. She knew very well that she was completely dependent on Zhang Hao to survive. Without a rich playboy like him, she was nothing. Besides, she was still hoping to get even more benefits from him. "I'm sorry, I just got carried away for a moment. I didn't mean it." Pan Lian's voice instantly became weak and feeble. Although she was still resentful, she didn't dare to act out of line again. "Are we just going to let this go? We got beaten for nothing. And even cleaned his house for him?" Pan Lian knew Zhang Hao's family had some influence. She knew he wasn't planning on letting me off so easily. HMPH, how could I just let it go? Zhang Hao's eyes turned cold, and a sinister smile played on his lips. "Don't forget, your necklace is still missing. Besides, he slapped me in the face. I can't just swallow that. When the time comes, you just insist that he was the one who stole the necklace. My uncle is the deputy chief of the police station in this district. He's in for a world of hurt. He hit my woman, so I'll make sure he spends the rest of his life rotting in jail." Perhaps because I was truly exhausted from the night before, I slept exceptionally soundly, all the way until past 6 in the afternoon. I was only woken up by a series of urgent and violent knocks on the door. Bang, bang, bang. "Open up, open the door. Whoever's inside, open up now." The knocking grew louder and louder, as if they were about to smash the door down. "Who is it? Are you trying to tear the house down? Can't a person get some sleep?" Annoyed by the rough knocking, I rubbed my sleepy eyes, lazily climbed out of bed, and slipped on my slippers. Yawning, I walked to the door. When I opened it, I froze. Most of my sleepiness vanished in an instant. Standing outside was a stunningly beautiful young woman with a tall, statuesque figure. She carried herself with a heroic air, and the full curves of her chest were particularly eye-catching. She was the very definition of a police beauty. The beautiful officer's eyes didn't help but linger on me for a moment. Originally, when she heard that the guy in this room hits women, she had an expression of disgust. But the moment she saw me, her heart inexplicably skipped a beat. Drawn in by my indescribable aura. Of course, the busty police beauty didn't know that she had been affected by my manly aura skill. Next to her stood a young male detective with a stern face, who looked utterly serious. He was probably the one who had been knocking so violently. However, when my gaze went past the two police officers and fell on the pair standing behind them, my expression instantly turned ice cold, and a flash of disgust crossed my eyes. Those two were none other than Zhang Hao and Pan Lian, that despicable pair. "That's him, officer. That's him." The police beauty heard Pan Lian, who was standing behind her, point at me arrogantly the moment she saw me. With a spiteful, gloating look on her face, she looked every bit the petty villain who had gotten her way. "So you're the one," the young detective said, sizing me up with disgust. His name was Zhang Fei. He was a trusted subordinate of Zhang Hao's uncle, Zhang Chong, the deputy chief of the Municipal Police Bureau. Before he even came down, he'd already received special instructions from Zhang Chong. He was to put a cocky punk like me in my place, to show me what happens when you cross the Zhang family. Therefore, he was, of course, not going to be pleasant with me. "That's me," I nodded, neither servile nor overbearing. "You're coming with us to the station." Zhang Fei's tone was harsh. "Can you tell me what this is about?" "You have to at least tell me what happened," I said with a frown. I already had a pretty good idea, but I still wanted to get things clear first. HMPH. What's this about? You assaulted someone and stole their things. That's what this is about. Zhang Fei sneered with contempt. That's right, that's right. I told you before. You dare hit me, and I'll make you pay. Pan Lian chimed in from the side, her voice sharp and grating. Zhang Hao was also hiding behind the two officers, staring at me with a venomous glare. "Officer, you should at least have a reason before arresting someone." "I admit I hit him, but I didn't steal anything. And I only did it Because they forced their way into my home first. It was self-defense. I was still trying to explain, not realizing they were specifically targeting me. Haha, if you have a complaint, you can take your time telling us all about it at the station. You'll have all the time in the world to explain once we're there. Zhang Fei said with a smirk, a sinister glint flashing in his eyes. As he spoke, Zhang Fei pulled out handcuffs from his belt, intending to cuff me right then and there. The way they're acting, this isn't about taking me in for questioning. It's a direct arrest, like they're ready to convict me on the spot. Seeing this, my expression soured. I originally thought I was just going in to cooperate with the investigation. I figured I'd just have to clear things up. But from the looks of it now, there's no room for negotiation. They're clearly planning to make this an open and shut case. I'm not an idiot. I've already guessed that this Zhang Hao probably has connections on the inside. If I go with them today, I'm going to be in for a world of hurt. What? Are you trying to resist arrest? Zhang Fei's brow furrowed, his tone sharp with impatience. Of course not. But could you just let me make a phone call first? So my family won't worry. As I said this, I looked directly at the beautiful female officer. At the same time, I secretly activated two skills, Silver Tongue and Masculinity. I knew in my heart that this Zhang Fei was clearly bad news. My only chance was to persuade the female officer in front of me. Your family? The police will notify them according to procedure. You don't need to worry about it. Zhang Fei's tone was ice cold, his attitude firm. He clearly had no intention of giving me a chance to make a call. He just wanted to drag me back to the station as fast as possible. To complete the task Zhang Chang had given him. Hold on, just as Zhang Fei was about to force the cuffs on me. The beautiful female officer next to him, Xu Min, suddenly spoke up. I have to say, she was a real beauty, and her voice was just as lovely. Brother Zhang, right now he's still just a suspect, she said in a clear, pleasant voice. We haven't figured out what happened yet. He wants to call his family. That doesn't seem to be a problem, does it? The tough expression on Zhang Fei's face froze. He never would have imagined that Shui Min, who usually hung on his every word, and, you could even say, practically worshipped him, would publicly contradict him today for a suspect she'd never even met. It left him both surprised and furious. Out of a primal male instinct. The look he gave me grew several shades colder. To be honest, Shui Min herself didn't know what was wrong with her today. From the first moment she saw me, she felt an inexplicable emotion welling up inside her, and her eyes were involuntarily drawn to me. She couldn't seem to look away. And just now, when I spoke, she felt as if she'd been enchanted. A voice kept echoing in her mind, telling her to speak up for me, to trust me. The feeling left her utterly confused and bewildered. What Shui Min didn't know was that she was under the influence of my system skills. Masculinity not only attracts the attention of the opposite sex, but it can also influence their judgment to a certain degree. And Silver Tongue amplified the credibility of my words. The effect was even more potent on beautiful women. With both skills stacked, she naturally couldn't resist. As for Zhang Fei, although he was furious about Shui Min's rebuttal, he was actively pursuing her and trying to maintain an image of an upright, law-abiding officer in her eyes. Because of that, he couldn't really press the issue. He could only give a cold snort, tacitly agreeing to Shui Min's suggestion. If you're going to make a call, do it quickly. Don't waste everyone's time. His eyes still held a trace of displeasure as he shot me a fierce glare. I knew this was the chance Shui Min had secured for me. Naturally, I wasn't going to waste it. I quickly pulled my phone out of my pocket and dialed Yan Ruyu's number. You naughty boy, you've been gone for so long. And you're only calling me now? HMPH, did you forget all about me? Yan Ruyu's May voice came through the phone, making my heart flutter. I thought to myself, what a seductive vixen. Babe, I'm in a bit of trouble. Can you find someone to help me out? I asked, lowering my voice. I knew perfectly well that with my social standing, there was absolutely no one who could help me. My only hope was Yan Ruyu. As a wealthy socialite from a prominent family, she was bound to have a network of contacts in high society. What's the situation? Tell me, quickly, what in the world happened? Hearing the anxiety in my voice, Yan Ruyu's tone immediately grew serious. It's like this. I've been framed for theft and assault. The other party seems to have someone backing them up at the station. Now they're trying to drag me down to the municipal police headquarters for questioning. Can you think of a way to help? I quickly gave her a brief rundown of the whole situation. HMPH. Who are these people? How dare they lay a hand on my man? Don't you worry, just go with them for now. I'll take care of it. No one is going to touch you. Alright, I understand. After hearing what Yan Ruyu said, I immediately felt at ease, knowing she almost certainly had a plan. Let's go. I'll go to the station with you, I said, hanging up the phone. A look of complete ease on my face. HMPH. Zhang Fei shot me an indifferent look, not understanding what I was up to. After that phone call, I seemed completely relaxed. After hanging up with me, Yan Ruyu dialed another number. It was for Ren Jing, her best friend since childhood, who also happened to be the daughter of Yi City's mayor. Well, Ruyu, you haven't called me in over half a year. I was starting to think you'd forgotten all about your old friend. What made you suddenly think to call me today? From the other end of the line came the clear, pleasant voice of a mature woman, her tone light and teasing. Jing, listen, something's happened. Yan Ruyu didn't have time for pleasantries and cut straight to the chase, quickly and concisely explaining the entire situation. HMPH. This is absolutely lawless. To dare to do something like this in broad daylight. It's as if there's no law anymore. After Ren Jing heard Yan Ruyu's story, her tone immediately turned serious, laced with anger. Ruyu, don't worry. You can leave this to me. I will absolutely not let them get away with this. I'm heading down to the city headquarters myself right now, to see what the hell they think they're doing. In that case, thank you so much. Jing, once this is all over, I'll be sure to treat you to a proper dinner. To thank you in person, Yan Ruyu said gratefully. Hehe, Ruyu, there's no need for dinner. Do we really need to be so formal with each other? We're sisters. Ren Jing's voice returned to its previous light, teasing tone. Then, her tone shifted, and she asked with a hint of gossip. But you have to tell me the truth. What's the deal between you and this guy of yours? Anyway, model. Why are you so worried about him? Come on, fess up. Is he some new boy toy you found? Yan Ruyu was suddenly speechless, her pretty face flushing slightly. She never, ever thought that her relationship with me would be seen through so easily by Ren Jing. She had originally planned to find the right time to tell Ren Jing, but she never expected Ren Jing to call her out on it so quickly. You don't have to be embarrassed. What are we, best friends? You think I don't know you? That Zhao Rulong of yours is clearly a freeloader, and he still has the nerve to go around womanizing and cheating on you. As your best friend, I've been sick of his attitude for a long time. You used to be too proper, too concerned with saving face. You should have let loose and started living for yourself a long time ago. Ren Jing said with a laugh, her tone carrying a hint of indignation on Yan Ruyu's behalf. When Yan Ruyu heard this, she was at a loss for words. She never expected that her friend, who was always known for being so composed, had now become so open-minded in her thinking. And so blunt. Alright, since you've already guessed, then I won't hide it from you anymore, Yan Ruyu sighed. Frankly admitting it, that's more like it. How is that bastard even worthy of you? You have the looks, and the money. If it weren't for you, would he be where he is today? And he still dares to cheat on you? You were just too soft-hearted back then. Ren Jing's tone was full of indignation. Alright, Jing, let's not talk about that old stuff right now. The situation is urgent. I'm worried they're going to mess with him. I'm afraid he's going to get hurt. Yan Ruyu interrupted Ren Jing, her voice filled with anxiety. Hee, they say women in love lose their minds. You've only just found your new man, and you're already this worried about him. Ren Jing continued to tease. Jing, what nonsense are you talking about? I'm not talking to you anymore, Yan Ruyu said, pretending to be angry, but her tone carried the playful intimacy of best friends. Alright, I won't tease you. Seeing this, Ren Jing quickly dropped her playful expression. As it happens, I'm not busy right now, she said seriously. I'll go to the city bureau myself. And while I'm at it, I'll get a look at this new man of yours. See who on earth he is, to have our Ruyu so worried and concerned. So invested. Inside the city police station, I was led by Zhang Fei and the others to an interrogation room. Just as we reached the door, I saw a middle-aged man in uniform with a potbelly and a grim face. This middle-aged man radiated an imposing aura of authority. This was none other than Zhang Hao's uncle, the deputy director of the City Public Security Bureau, Zhang Chong. Uncle, you have to get justice for your nephew. The moment he saw Zhang Chong, Zhang Hao started putting on an act, crying with a pitiful face, snot and tears streaming down as he complained. As I was led into the police station, I saw this whole scene unfold. And my heart sank. It became crystal clear that if Yan Ruyu's help didn't arrive soon, I was in serious trouble. Looks like I'm really done for today. HMPH, don't you worry. Uncle will absolutely not let our Housie be bullied for nothing. Uncle will get justice for you. Zhang Chong's voice was so gloomy it was practically dripping. His hawk-like eyes stared venomously at me, as if he wanted to devour me whole. Zhang Fei, take him in and interrogate him properly. When he said the words confess clearly, Zhang Chong deliberately stressed his tone. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. Chief Zhang, rest assured. I guarantee you'll be satisfied. After years of clawing his way up in the bureaucracy, Zhang Fei had already mastered the art of reading people. He naturally understood the hint. His face was plastered with a fawning smile as he nodded and bowed repeatedly. What are you standing around for? Hurry up and take him in. Zhang Chong shot Zhang Fei an impatient glare. Yes, yes, yes. Chief Zhang, I'll take him in right now. Zhang Fei quickly turned around and gave me a rough shove. He said brutally, get in there, now. The atmosphere in the interrogation room was oppressive. Zhang Fei sat with his legs crossed, his knuckles rapping furiously on the tabletop, making a thump, thump sound. Kid, I'll give you one last chance. Are you going to confess or not? Zhang Fei narrowed his eyes, a cold smirk playing on his lips. The threat in his words was unmistakable. Haha, officer, everything that should be said, and can be said, I've already made clear. What else do you want me to confess to? I sneered, not a trace of fear on my face. On the contrary, I appeared exceptionally calm. What do you mean by that? That there are things that can't be said? A cunning glint flashed in Zhang Fei's eyes. He deliberately seized on the unintentional loophole in my words, clearly planning to force a crime on me. If you want to condemn someone, you can always find a charge. Say whatever you want. In any case, my testimony is finished. My tone was ice cold. I knew that before my backup arrived, nothing I said would matter. Haha, looks like if I don't use some special methods, you won't cry until you see the coffin. Zhang Fei's face was ferocious as he cracked his knuckles, clearly planning to teach me a lesson. When Shui Min spoke up for me earlier, it had made Zhang Fei hold a grudge. What? Officer, are you planning to torture a confession out of me? Beat me until I confess? This is supposed to be a society governed by law. I showed no weakness, deliberately raising my voice. Before his backup arrived, he had to expose the ugly behavior of Zhang Fei and the others as much as possible. Only then could he turn the tables on them. HMPH. Dealing with a stubborn mule like you, who has a terrible attitude and refuses to cooperate with the investigation. Employing some necessary coercive measures is just part of the reasonable, legal, and compliant normal procedure for handling a case. How can you call that torture? Stop your slanderous accusations. Twisting the truth with that said, Zhang Fei let out a savage laugh, his clenched fist whistling through the air, as he ruthlessly threw a punch straight at my face. My expression immediately darkened. I didn't expect this Zhang Fei would actually dare to make a move. All the muscles in my body tensed. I was about to teach this Zhang Fei a lesson. Zhang Fei, stop. What do you think you're doing? The case hasn't even been investigated. How can you, an officer of the law, break the law yourself? Openly trying to beat a confession out of someone? Just as Zhang Fei's fist was about to fall, a crisp female voice, tinged with anger, rang out just in time. Shui Min's figure suddenly appeared in the doorway, her eyes immediately landing on Zhang Fei as he was about to use force. The fist Zhang Fei had thrown froze stiffly in midair, just inches from my face. The vicious look on his face instantly solidified, becoming incredibly awkward and embarrassed. To be honest, Shui Min's sudden appearance saved Zhang Fei. If he had actually landed that punch just now, I definitely would have fought back. And with my current abilities, I could have broken his bones in seconds. Haha Min, I was just trying to scare this punk. I wasn't really going to hit him, Zhang Fei said, his eyes darting around. He cleared his throat a couple of times, trying to hide his guilty conscience. Shui Min looked at Zhang Fei suspiciously, her eyes filled with contempt. She used to greatly admire Zhang Fei as a promising young officer. But seeing how he acted today, she couldn't help but feel utterly disgusted. Her opinion of him did a complete 180. Are you alright? Shui Min didn't even bother with Zhang Fei, turning to me with a look of concern. She didn't know what was wrong with her today. From the first moment she saw me, she'd felt a little flustered. Just a moment ago, when she was outside, he was worried about my safety, which is why he rushed in. It's a good thing he came in. Otherwise, things would have gotten really messy today. I'm fine. Thanks for what you did. I smiled, my face full of sincerity. At the same time, I secretly activated my masculinity skill. Looking at my smile, Shui Min felt a pleasant warmth, as if bathed in a spring breeze. Her heart skipped a beat, and Zhang Fei, watching from the side, saw everything. His eyes practically bulged out of his head, as if he wanted to skin me alive on the spot. Junior sister Min, why are you here? I can handle this by myself. You should go get back to your own work. With Shui Min here, it wouldn't be easy for Zhang Fei to use force on me, even if he wanted to. That's why he immediately tried to send her away. Hey, if I weren't here, I'm sure you would have beaten him black and blue by now. Shui Min shot Zhang Fei an annoyed glare. Zhang Fei was absolutely seething with hatred. In the past, junior sister Shui Min had always looked up to him with total admiration. She hung on his every word. But ever since this damn guy, showed up, Shui Min's attitude toward him had taken a complete 180. Hey, how could that be? Upholding the law is our duty, I said with a cold smirk. I watched all of this unfold with great interest. Actually, Shui Min was wrong about one thing. If she hadn't come in just now, someone would have indeed been beaten to a pulp. But it wouldn't have been me. It would have been Zhang Fei. Still, openly assaulting a detective inside a police station that would be a very messy situation to get out of. So in my heart, I was very grateful to Shui Min. HMPH, fine, let's just stop here for today. It seemed he wouldn't get anything out of him today. Zhang Fei saw that Shui Min was dead set on interfering. She was protecting me at every turn. He knew he probably wouldn't get another chance to get his hands on me today. He cursed a few times under his breath, but on the surface, he had to maintain a professional, by-the-book appearance. He shot me a fierce glare, then picked up the intercom on the desk. In an unfriendly tone, he shouted into it, "Two of you, come in here. Take this suspect away and lock him up for now. Keep him under strict watch. Without my permission, no one is to visit him." He planned to lock me up first, and then slowly find a chance to take good care of me, settling old scores and new ones all at once. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the city police headquarters, a low-key, luxurious black Hongqi sedan slowly drove in, coming to a smooth stop in the open space in front of the main gate. "Uncle Fu, you can just wait for me here. I'm going inside to take care of something. I'll be out soon." The car door opened. A tall and slender figure, curvy in all the right places. A beautiful woman who exuded an aura of mature, intellectual charm with her every move, stepped out of the car gracefully. Her long, jet black, glossy hair was draped over her shoulders, further accentuating her delicate features and fair skin. The moment this woman got out of the car, she immediately captured the attention of all the men at the station entrance. Almost everyone's gaze was locked onto her, unable to look away, whether it was her flawless, delicate face, her noble and elegant demeanor, or her powerful, confident aura. This woman was simply too exceptional, standing out from the crowd like a crane among chickens. It was hard not to notice her. This woman was none other than Ren Jing, Yan Ruyu's best friend since childhood. Like Yan Ruyu, Ren Jing also came from a prestigious and powerful family. Her family background was incredibly deep-rooted, far beyond what any ordinary family could compare to. However, unlike Yan Ruyu, who had married early, Ren Jing did not choose marriage. Instead, she poured all her energy into her career. She herself was extremely outstanding, a true prodigy since she was a little girl. She had a string of prestigious schools to her name, having graduated from Cambridge University with a PhD in law. After returning to the country, Ren Jing didn't choose to become a lawyer or pursue any other law-related work. Instead, she resolutely entered the world of politics. She embarked on the path of a stateswoman, relying on her extraordinary courage, brilliant intellect, and swift, decisive style. She was like a fish in water in the political world. She rose through the ranks rapidly. In just a few short years, she went from being an ordinary civil servant all the way to the position of mayor of Yucheng City. She was, without a doubt, a true powerhouse of a woman, proving that women can be just as capable as men. In her eyes, ordinary men simply couldn't meet her standards. That's why, even in her 30s, she has remained single to this day. Ren Jing, in her high heels, strode purposefully into the police station, heading straight for the office of the city's police chief. Elsewhere, Zhang Hao and Pan Lian, who had just dealt with me, were at that moment feeling smug and triumphant, planning to leave the police station to go and celebrate. However, just as they reached the entrance of the main hall, they saw her at a glance. A woman with a presence that was one in a million. When Zhang Hao saw Ren Jing, a woman of devastating beauty, his eyes instantly lit up. As a rich playboy who had seen countless women and was used to all kinds of beauties, Zhang Hao considered himself a man of the world. But someone like Ren Jing, who combined beauty, elegance, and presence all in one, a woman who was truly the best of the best, was someone he had rarely ever encountered. In fact, you could say he'd never seen anyone like her in his entire life. To be honest, he had also been quite taken with that pretty police officer, Shui Min, whom he'd met at the station earlier today. He'd secretly coveted her, but considering she was the one Zhang Fei was after, and hearing that Zhang Fei's family also had some background and that he was quite capable himself, with a boundless future ahead of him, Zhang Hao weighed the pros and cons. In the end, he had wisely suppressed his inappropriate desires for Shui Min. But now, suddenly laying eyes on an absolute goddess like Ren Jing, how could a natural-born womanizer like Zhang Hao possibly let this opportunity slip by? Without a moment's hesitation, he quickened his pace and cut Ren Jing off, blocking her path. "Ha, well now, beautiful, where are you off to? Is there anything I can help you with?" Zhang Hao asked, his face a mask of flattery, his eyes gleaming. He looked exactly like a lecherous scoundrel. Ren Jing's elegant brows furrowed, and a flicker of annoyance crossed her delicate face. She shot Zhang Hao a cold glare and uttered two words in a voice like ice. "Get out of my way." "Ooh, this beauty's got some fire, doesn't she? I like it. Ha ha ha." Seeing how cold Ren Jing was towards him, Zhang Hao only grew more excited. A woman like this was the only kind who could truly ignite his desire for conquest. He'd long since grown tired of playing with easy trash like Pan Lian that any man could have. Zhang Hao, you son of a bitch. What is the meaning of this? I'm standing right here. What do you take me for? Pan Lian couldn't believe it. She never imagined Zhang Hao could be so shameless, so blatant. Completely disregarding her feelings to openly flirt with another woman right in front of her. Shaking with rage, she pointed at Zhang Hao's nose and started screaming. I'll do whatever the hell I want. It's none of your damn business. Who the hell do you think you are? You're just a piece of used up trash. A washed up old hag. I got tired of you a long time ago. If you know what's good for you, get the hell out of my sight. Don't stand here and offend my eyes. Zhang Hao hurled vicious insults at Pan Lian without a second thought, completely disregarding any affection they once shared. You bastard. I'll kill you. No matter how much Pan Lian was used to swallowing her pride, she had finally reached her limit. His words had utterly enraged her, and all the pent-up humiliation and fury inside her exploded at once. Like an enraged lioness, she threw herself at Zhang Hao, arms and legs flailing. Ready to fight him to the death. But, at the end of the day, she was still just a woman. Her strength and agility were no match for his. She stood no chance against him. Zhang Hao easily shoved her to the ground. Pan Lian let out a sharp scream. As she fell heavily, cutting a pathetic figure on the floor. She immediately burst into tears. Haha beautiful, don't pay any mind to a harpy like her. She'll only spoil the mood. I was wondering if I might have the honor of inviting you for a drink? To spend a wonderful evening together? Zhang Hao asked, completely ignoring Pan Lian sobbing on the floor. This is a police station. Aren't you afraid of getting arrested? And being thrown in a cell? Her tone was ice cold. Thrown in a cell? Ha ha ha, what a joke. Let me tell you something. My family basically owns this police station. When Zhang Hao heard Ren Jing, he reacted as if he'd just heard the funniest joke in the world. He threw his head back and roared with laughter, the very picture of arrogance. Smack. But what Zhang Hao never would have dreamed of was that Ren Jing didn't play by the rules at all. Without hesitation, she raised her hand and landed a vicious slap right across Zhang Hao's face. The crisp sound of the slap echoed through the hall, instantly drawing the eyes of everyone around. Zhang Hao was caught completely off guard. The stinging pain on his cheek snapped him back to reality. He clutched his face, his eyes wide with disbelief. Staring at the ice-cold woman in front of him, he flew into a humiliated rage and began to scream obscenities. You fucking bitch. You dare to hit me? I'm going to kill you today. He had never been so humiliated in his entire life. Especially not by a woman. He felt like he had lost all face. He was seething with uncontrollable rage. Smack. Again, without the slightest hesitation, Ren Jing raised her hand and backhanded him. His face was still reeling from my slap, and a trickle of blood seeped from the corner of his mouth. Fuck, you just had to do this the hard way. I try to be nice and you spit in my face. Zhang Hao, completely enraged, let out a roar. He raised his fist, veins bulging. To think he would dare to openly hit someone right here at the crowded entrance of the police station. Just as Zhang Hao's fist was about to fall, a slightly stooped old man suddenly appeared in front of Ren Jing like a phantom. Just as Zhang Hao's fist was about to fall, a slightly stooped old man appeared before Ren Jing like a phantom. The old man was dressed in a simple, grey tang suit, and his eyes held an unfathomable glint of golden light. He gently raised a hand and, with a seemingly casual palm strike, pushed against Zhang Hao's chest. Peeved, Zhang Hao felt an overwhelming force, like a tidal wave, crash into him. His body flew backward like a kite with its string cut, landing heavily on the ground. A mouthful of fresh blood spewed from his lips. The onlookers were all stunned by the scene. They all gasped, unable to believe their own eyes. Young miss, are you alright? Are you hurt anywhere? This old man was none other than Uncle Fu. He immediately turned to look at Ren Jing. His expression was full of concern, his tone respectful. I'm fine, Uncle Fu. Thank you for stepping in just in time. Ren Jing shook her head. It is I who was careless. I never expected someone so reckless would be causing trouble right at the police station entrance. To dare lay a hand on the young miss, how outrageous. Uncle Fu's eyes narrowed as he looked at Zhang Hao on the ground. A cold glint flashed in his eyes, sending an involuntary shiver down Zhang Hao's spine. Just then, Zhang Fei, who had just finished up in the interrogation room, happened to walk out and saw at a glance that Zhang Hao had been beaten so badly he was spitting blood, lying on the ground in a wretched state. She was immediately shocked. Stop. You can't hit him. Arrest them. Quick, arrest them. Lying on the ground, Zhang Hao pointed at Ren Jing and Fu Bo, screaming at the top of his lungs. His tone was utterly venomous. Hearing this, Zhang Fei looked up at Ren Jing and Uncle Fu. When his gaze fell on Ren Jing, he was instantly captivated by her beauty. His eyes widened. Zhang Fei couldn't help but sneak a few extra glances at Ren Jing's impressive bust. Of course, his lecherous gaze did not escape Ren Jing's notice. She was filled with utter disgust and vowed to clean house today. And get rid of this rotten bunch. What are you standing around for? Didn't you hear young Master Zhang? Take them inside. Arrest all of them. Don't let a single one get away. Zhang Fei snapped back to reality and immediately waved to his colleagues behind him. Ordering loudly, he was also hatching his own little scheme. If he could get his hands on this beauty, it would be absolutely perfect. I'd like to see any of you dare touch the young miss. Just as a few officers were about to move in and arrest them, Uncle Fu suddenly took a step forward, blocking Ren Jing. A powerful aura erupted from him, so intimidating that the men didn't dare approach. What's going on here, causing such a commotion? Just then, Deputy Chief Zhang Chong, having heard the noise outside, also walked out. He was frowning, his expression dark. Uncle, you have to stand up for me. Look what they've done to me. This damn bitch and this old bastard. They actually dared to hit me right at the police station entrance. It's complete lawlessness. Seeing his uncle Zhang Chong come out, Zhang Hao immediately began to wail tearfully. To dare to openly assault someone at the police station entrance, what incredible audacity. Hearing Zhang Hao's cries, Zhang Chong's face instantly grew even darker. He glared at Ren Jing and Uncle Fu with uncontrollable rage. However, it would have been better if he hadn't looked. The moment he did, Zhang Chong was scared out of his wits. Zhang Chong, is this your nephew? Ren Jing asked, having heard Zhang Hao call him uncle. She was already beginning to understand the situation. A cold, meaningful smile played on her lips as her sharp gaze fixed on Zhang Chong. Why yes, he is. Stared at by Ren Jing, Zhang Chong grew flustered, and a layer of fine sweat beaded on his forehead. After a moment's hesitation, he braced himself and nodded. HMPH. Zhang Chong, how impressive. Your precious nephew openly harasses a woman at the police station entrance and even dares to claim the station is owned by his family. Such big words. Zhang Chong, I would like to ask you, is this Yi City Police Department really run by your Zhang family? Ren Jing's tone suddenly became severe. Every word was piercing. Hearing this, Zhang Chong shuddered. His face instantly turned as pale as a sheet. He never, ever expected that this useless oaf Zhang Hao had actually tried to harass the mayor herself. Who the hell do you think you are, daring to speak to my uncle like that? The clueless Zhang Hao, still not understanding the situation, actually started yelling again. Smack. Another crisp, loud slap echoed. After taking so many slaps in a row, the few good teeth Zhang Hao had left in his mouth were finally all knocked clean out. Uncle, it was this slut who started it. I was just joking around with her, that's all. Why did you hit me? Zhang Hao said, completely bewildered as he clutched his red, swollen cheek. He slurred, still not understanding what was happening. He couldn't figure out who on earth he had provoked to make the uncle who had always doted on him so furious. You blind fool, I've been far too lenient with you. At that moment, Zhang Chong wanted to kill Zhang Hao. A nephew this stupid, with absolutely no sense. He'd be better off without him. Zhang Fei, take this fool who never learns his lesson and lock him up for openly harassing a woman. Detain him for 15 days. His only thought now was to get this blind fool out of the way immediately. He couldn't, for the sake of an idiot like this, lose his official post. Zhang Chong knew very well that although this Mayor Ren was a woman, her methods were swift and ruthless. She was incredibly formidable, and most importantly, her family background was extraordinary. She was not someone a minor deputy chief like him could ever afford to provoke. Zhang Fei immediately understood and called over a few colleagues. They pulled Zhang Hao up and started dragging him towards the detention center. Zhang Hao still had no idea what was going on. He was still struggling and shouting defiantly. Seeing that Zhang Hao had been taken away, the farce at the scene finally came to a temporary end. Only then did Zhang Chong wipe the cold sweat from his forehead. He turned around, putting on a fawning smile as he looked at Ren Jing. Bowing and scraping, he said, Mayor Ren, I am so terribly sorry. It's all my fault for not disciplining him properly. I allowed my good-for-nothing nephew to offend you. My sincerest apologies, I'm so sorry. I wasn't aware you would be gracing us with your presence today, Mayor Ren. Is there anything that brings you to our police station? If there's anything you need my help with, please don't hesitate to ask. I will do everything in my power to have Wang Mingrui come out and see me, Ren Jing said calmly. But her words carried an air of unquestionable authority. Oh, so you're here to see Chief Wang. I'll take you to him right away. Zhang Chong didn't dare to be disrespectful, nodding and bowing obsequiously. He swore to personally escort her into the chief's office. No need, I'll wait for him right here. Ren Jing waved her hand, then walked to the side and casually found a chair. She sat down gracefully, her expression serene. Since Ren Jing had spoken, Zhang Chang naturally didn't dare say anything more. He could only manage an awkward smile, then trotted off to the chief's office to find Wang Mingrui. His heart was pounding, wondering why Ren Jing had suddenly come to the police station. But he had a nagging feeling it was related to the incident from earlier, which made him even more uneasy. A moment later, a slightly bloated, pot-bellied middle-aged man rushed out of his office. It was none other than the city's police chief, Wang Mingrui. He was adjusting his police uniform as he walked. His face was plastered with a smile. He had obviously received Zhang Chang's report. Knowing the visitor was Mayor Ren Jing. "Oh my, Mayor Ren, I had no idea you were gracing us with your presence. How rude of me, how rude. Please forgive me for not coming out to greet you. This is truly my fault, my fault." Wang Mingrui ran up to Ren Jing. He immediately put on a fawning smile, repeatedly clasping his hands in a bow. His attitude was reverent. "Spare me the pleasantries. Wang Mingrui, let me ask you. Your police department. Did you arrest a man named Qin Dagan today?" Wang Mingrui chuckled slightly at the name. He turned to look at Zhang Chang beside him, his eyes questioning. When Zhang Chang heard Ren Jing ask for my name, his heart sank. His face instantly turned deathly pale, and cold sweat beaded on his forehead. "Does no one know?" Ren Jing looked suspiciously at Wang Mingrui. Then she glanced at Zhang Chang's face and had already figured out most of what was going on. "Zhang Chang, was anyone by that name brought into the station today? Explain it to me clearly, now." Wang Mingrui was an old fox in the bureaucracy. He could tell at a glance that Zhang Chang was hiding something, and his tone immediately turned severe. "Well, Chief Wang, you know how it is. The city bureau is incredibly busy. We have criminals coming in and out all day long. How could I possibly remember so clearly?" Zhang Chang coughed dryly a couple of times. He feigned ignorance, planning to bluff his way through it for now. "Fine, then I'll wait right here. If I don't find this person today, I'm not leaving," Ren Jing sneered, and with that, she sat down. Wang Mingrui looked troubled. He turned towards Zhang Chang beside him, and said in an ill-tempered tone, "What are you waiting for? Go and check right now. If there's such a person." "No need, I know him." Before Zhang Chang could even move, a crisp, pleasant voice suddenly rang out. Shui Min was seen jogging over. She had been worrying about how to get me out of this mess. With Ren Jing's sudden appearance, she naturally wasn't going to miss this opportunity. Seeing Shui Min suddenly appear, Zhang Chang's face turned livid. He kept trying to signal her with his eyes, hoping she would take the hint. "And stay out of things. Go on, young lady. Let's hear it," Ren Jing said, looking at Shui Min with great interest. Here's what happened. A moment later, Shui Min had already explained my situation in full detail. In the process, she didn't forget to embellish the story, including how Zhang Fei planned to use brutal interrogation methods. She painted a vivid picture. "Zhang Chang, you tell me. Is this true?" Wang Mingrui's face was ashen. This I didn't know. I suspect Zhang Fei did this to curry favor with me. It was his own initiative. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Zhang Chang was, after all, a seasoned bureaucrat. The first thing he thought of was to sacrifice his pawn to save the king. He immediately threw his own subordinate under the bus. "Chief Zhang, that's not what you told me before. I've served you loyally, and this is how you treat me." Zhang Chang never saw this coming. The moment the words left his mouth, Zhang Fei, who had just taken Zhang Hao away, came back and immediately overheard Zhang Chang planning to betray him. "Zhang Fei, don't talk nonsense. You knowingly broke the law. To suck up to your superior, you actually dared to openly use private torture. Now get the hell out of my sight. Go back and write me a self-criticism report." Zhang Chang immediately flew into a rage, pointing at Zhang Fei's nose and berating him furiously. He put on a righteous act, telling Zhang Fei to go write a report. But in reality, he was just trying to turn a big problem into a small one, and a small one into nothing. To get away with it, Zhang Fei froze for a moment. At first, he was a little resentful, but he quickly came to his senses. "The person you offended today is the mayor, and it looks like he's taking this matter very seriously. If you think you can get away with just writing a simple letter of apology, that would be an incredible stroke of luck." He quickly weighed the pros and cons in his mind. He immediately changed his tune. Yes, you're right to scold me, Director Zhang. I was wrong. I'll go write my self-criticism right now and deeply reflect on my mistakes." Zhang Fei nodded eagerly and turned to slink away. He planned to make a quick getaway. "Hold on." Just as Zhang Fei was about to reach the door, a cold voice suddenly called out, stopping him in his tracks. It was Ren Jing who had spoken. He had been observing for some time. As someone who had judged countless people, how could he not see through Zhang Chang's little scheme? He watched it all unfold with a cold detachment, having already understood everything. Hearing the voice, Zhang Fei froze on the spot. He was trapped, unable to move forward or retreat. Tiny beads of sweat formed on his forehead. Director Wang, how do you intend to clean this up today? The corners of Ren Jing's mouth lifted slightly as his sharp gaze locked onto Wang Mingrui. His natural air of authority, without any visible anger, made it hard for Wang Mingrui to breathe. Zhang Chang, as of today, you are suspended from all duties and will be placed under investigation. As for Zhang Fei, he used private punishment just to curry favor with his superior. The offense is severe. He is to be dismissed from the force and never be rehired. Seeing Ren Jing's resolute stance, Wang Mingrui knew the matter couldn't be smoothed over and had to make a swift decision. Saving his own skin was all that mattered now. Director Wang, this situation hasn't even been clarified yet. I was just being lax and supervising my subordinate. I had no idea Zhang Fei would do such a thing. Hearing he was suspended, Zhang Chang completely panicked. With a long face, he still tried to argue his case. Do you take me for a fool? Wang Mingrui's expression was utterly grim. He couldn't be bothered with Zhang Chang any longer and turned to Ren Jing. He asked cautiously, Mayor Ren, I wonder if this resolution is to your satisfaction? Director Wang, the city's current focus is on the discipline of our officials. You're aware of this. What we need is for the public to be satisfied. Not for me to be satisfied. Understand? Ren Jing reminded him. Yes, Mayor Ren is absolutely right. Wang Mingrui nodded profusely. Alright, since this is more or less handled. Bring out that man, Qin Dagon. I want to see him. Seeing that the matter was settled, Ren Jing didn't waste any more words and stated his demand directly. Yes, I'll have someone take care of it right away, Wang Mingrui quickly replied. Then, he turned to Shui Min, who was standing nearby, and said, Shui Min, you handled this well. Now, you go and bring that man over. Understood, Director Wang. Seeing those two scoundrels, Zhang Fei and Zhang Chang, finally get their comeuppance, I knew I was about to be saved. Shui Min was beyond happy. She saluted, then she turned and walked briskly toward the place I was being held. I had just been locked in a detention cell. I had barely sat down when I heard the crisp sound of footsteps approaching. I looked up and saw a tall, heroic-looking female police officer. She was jogging towards my holding cell. It was Officer Shui Min. Shui Min was wearing a form-fitting police uniform, and the sight of her running well, it was quite spectacular. You can come out now. Shui Min opened the door to the holding cell with a smile. So soon? I knew someone would come for me, but I didn't expect it to be this efficient. You must be something special. The mayor herself came to get you. How could it not be fast? Shui Min said with a wink. Her tone was a little playful. The mayor? I was a bit surprised. I hadn't realized Yan Ruyu was so influential that she'd call the mayor directly just to help me. I was deeply moved. I decided I had to do everything I could to repay her someday. Support Yan Ruyu with all my might. Let's go. I'll take you to them. Shui Min motioned for me to follow her. Thanks for your help today. Why don't we exchange contact info? I'll treat you to a meal sometime to thank you properly, I said with a grateful expression. I had a pretty good impression of Shui Min, and I plan to win over this beautiful officer. After all, my system gives me skills as long as I can conquer beautiful women. The skills I'd get from someone like Shui Min would definitely be top tier. After being reborn, I'd already come to understand one thing. In this world, it's the good guys who always get hurt, while scumbags get all the girls. A sweet feeling blossomed in Shui Min's heart. For some reason, she couldn't seem to control herself around me. She immediately took out her phone and we exchanged WeChat info. Ding! Target detected. Shui Min's affinity has increased. Temporary mission triggered. Conquer the beautiful police officer. Mission successful. A linking skill will be dropped. Damn, she really is a top-tier beauty, I thought. It even gave me a mission. Looks like I have no choice but to win her over. I felt a little guilty at first, but now I don't feel a thing. It's a system mission, I have to see it through. What can I do? As soon as I got the system prompt, I immediately activated my Invincible Eagle Eye skill and saw all of Shui Min's stats with perfect clarity. Previously admired Zhang Fei, now holds an intense dislike for him. Could it be because of me? I wondered, putting together the information from the system and the change in Shui Min's attitude towards me. I couldn't help but feel a little smug. Had I unknowingly replaced Zhang Fei in her heart? What are you spacing out for? They've already left. Hurry up and follow me. Seeing me standing there in a daze, Shui Min turned back. She looked at me quizzically. Oh, right, coming. I snapped out of it and hurried to catch up with her. A few moments later, she said, This is Mayor Ren. Shui Min walked over to Ren Jing's side and introduced her to me in a low voice. She gestured lightly towards Ren Jing. My eyes immediately lit up. I couldn't help but stare. I thought to myself, damn, this mayor is gorgeous. Even more beautiful than Yan Ruyu. But most importantly, her powerful, alpha female aura was truly 1 in a million. Target: Ren Jing. Height: 169 centimeters. Weight: 106 Jin. Measurements: 91, 64, 89. Traits: high IQ, alpha female, decisive and efficient. On the surface, she looks down on every man in the world. Deep down, she secretly craves love, especially those who like strong, domineering men and yearn to be conquered. But I, on the other hand, like them strong. It seems that beneath a tough exterior lies a masochistic heart. So, this is him, Ren Jing thought as she watched me walk up to her. She began to size me up carefully. To be honest, I'm not the type of guy who's stunningly handsome at first glance, nor am I the pretty boy type that's in vogue right now. She really couldn't understand what her incredibly discerning best friend saw in me. Of course, what Ren Jing didn't know was that, to Yan Ruyu, a man's looks aren't the most important thing. It's whether he's hard enough when it matters. When she needs him, he can be the one to stand firm behind her. Preferably, standing firm non-stop. But for some reason, Ren Jing felt that there was an indescribable quality about me, one that drew her gaze and made it difficult to look away. Ren Jing couldn't help but wonder to herself, could it be that I've just been single for too many years? And I'm starting to crave a man? So many top-tier handsome guys pursued me like crazy, and I wouldn't give a single one of them the time of day. So why today am I giving this ordinary-looking man a few extra glances? Of course, what Ren Jing didn't know was that this was the effect of the aura of masculinity that I had secretly activated. But to be fair, Ren Jing's standards were indeed high. Take the young policewoman, Shui Min, for example. I only had to activate the skill slightly, and the girl was already completely smitten. But Ren Jing had merely given me a few extra glances, not gotten all flustered like Shui Min. Let's go. This is settled. Ren Jing truly was a powerful woman. Her tone carried an undeniable authority. Thank you for your help. I nodded sincerely. You don't have to thank me. If you're going to thank someone, thank Ruyu. She's the one who asked me to help you. When Ren Jing said the name Ruyu, she deliberately raised her voice, so that everyone present could hear, to avoid any misunderstandings later on. In political circles, all sorts of rumors spread easily, and people making something out of nothing is incredibly common. She definitely didn't want a rumor going around that she was keeping a boy toy. That would not only damage her reputation but could also be used by her political rivals to attack her. With that, Ren Jing turned gracefully and walked towards the black car parked at the police station entrance. I looked back and gave Shui Min a small smile, as a sort of goodbye, then turned to follow Ren Jing. But I hadn't taken more than a few steps before a voice I loathed called out to me. I stopped and turned around, annoyed. What is it now? There was an instinctive coldness in my voice. The one who had called me was Pan Lian. At this moment, her face was swollen. Her eyes were bloodshot, and she was forcing a smile. Is there still a chance for us? Pan Lian's voice trembled, carrying a hint of hope. It seemed she had been completely heartbroken by Zhang Hao. Looking back, she suddenly realized that I was actually a pretty good choice. Looking at him again today, she didn't know why, but she felt he had much more of a masculine air than before. Most importantly, he was dependable. In the past, he had been completely devoted to her, nothing like that bastard Zhang Hao. The most important thing is that he'd start hitting himself at the slightest disagreement. He saw everything that just happened. And that's the mayor. The mayor came to pick me up personally. So, what kind of background must I have? Regardless of how I managed to get connected with someone as powerful as the mayor. My future must be incredibly promising, with limitless potential. So, Pan Lian regretted it. He suddenly wanted to make up with me again. In his eyes, getting in good with me was the same as getting in good with the mayor. But thanks, but no thanks. Just leave me alone. I sneered. Without hesitation, I turned and walked toward Ren Jing's car. The rear door was open. Ren Jing was waiting in the back seat. How on earth did you trick our Ruyu into falling head over heels for you? The black Hongqi sedan sped along the highway. Inside, Ren Jing tilted her head with great interest. Her scrutinizing gaze landed on me. In her every move, she exuded an elegance and competence unique to a mature woman. But at the same time, she radiated the authority and pressure of someone in a position of power. It made my hair stand on end a little. But, having been reborn, my mental fortitude was far beyond what it used to be. I met Ren Jing's gaze without showing any weakness. The manly aura skill activated secretly. After his rebirth, he understood that the more timid a man acts, the more easily he'll be looked down upon. Mayor Ren, you want to know? A playful smile touched the corners of my lips. I thought to myself, who really tricked whom? I had just gone there to collect a debt. But then Yan Ruyu dragged me into bed in a daze. I'm the one who got the short end of the stick, okay. I lost over 1 billion potential lives in one night. You think that was easy for me? You've got some nerve, kid, staring at me like that. But don't think I'm as easy to fool as Ruyu, that I'll fall for your tricks so easily. Seeing me so calm and composed, a flash of admiration crossed Ren Jing's eyes. But her tone still held a hint of probing and warning. As she spoke, her long, slender fingers actually lifted my chin gently, her eyes filled with obvious provocation. She didn't know what was wrong with her today. Ever since she met me, she had felt a constant restlessness inside, something that rarely happened in her life. Of course, her main goal was to use this opportunity to test me. To see if I was someone worthy of her good friend's trust. If I made any improper advances toward her, she wouldn't mind getting rid of. A scumbag for her friend. Ren Jing's exquisite face, sultry figure, and her sweet breath in a confined space, along with the faint fragrance from her body, were enough to make one's imagination run wild. What normal man could withstand such a tease? Right now, I'm not just normal, I'm practically superhuman. I can't take it, I just can't. My body immediately paid tribute to Ren Jing's charm. Being so close to each other, Ren Jing naturally noticed the change in my body. A hint of annoyance flashed across her delicate face. She cursed inwardly, men not a good one among them. They all think with their lower bodies. She immediately pulled away from me. But even so, her gaze still drifted down toward me, intentionally or not. A flicker of surprise and disbelief in her eyes. She thought to herself in amazement, how can it be so magnificent? After all, Ren Jing was a grown woman. Being single for so many years, she must have her needs. Having come back from overseas, she was very progressive, even if she'd never been with a man. She'd seen her share of Japanese flicks, and my own assets were just too impressive. Even more spectacular than those male stars in the movies. It was enough to make her heart pound wildly. She sighed to herself, no wonder her best friend thought so highly of him. A guy like this was one in a million. What woman wouldn't be flustered after seeing that? I noticed the strange look in Ren Jing's eyes and started to feel a bit awkward. I knew perfectly well that Ren Jing was Yan Ruyu's best friend. Besides, a top-tier, powerful woman like her wasn't going to be won over easily. I didn't want to come off as too forward or disrespectful, but my body's reaction at that moment was something I couldn't completely control. I had no choice. I could only awkwardly turn my head and look at the scenery rushing by outside the window. Bang! Just as the atmosphere between us had become incredibly delicate and awkward. A gunshot suddenly rang out, and a bullet instantly shattered the rear passenger window. Shards of glass flew everywhere. Acting on pure masculine instinct, I lunged in front of Ren Jing in a split second, pushing her down and pinning her body to the back seat. I shielded her with my own body, trying to block any more bullets that might come. Here I was, being chased by assassins with the stunning, ice queen of a mayor. To protect her, I was shielding Ren Jing with my entire body. But Ren Jing had been single for many years. When had she ever been this close to a man? Caught completely off guard, she felt a surge of annoyance and discomfort, instinctively trying to struggle free. Don't move, these people are after you, I said, my face grim. I spoke to Ren Jing in a serious tone. At the same time, I secretly activated my skills, silver tongue and masculine aura. I was trying to calm Ren Jing's emotions and make her trust me. Ren Jing looked at me, my brow furrowed as I stared intently out the window. For some reason, a strange sense of security suddenly washed over her. Her once panicked heart quickly began to calm down. And because of our close contact just now, her pretty face was flushed with a blush, making her look especially captivating. But I was in no mood to worry about Ren Jing's complicated feelings right then. My nerves were stretched taut, and all my attention was focused outside the window. Right now, two black, heavy-duty motorcycles were boxing us in, one on each side. The riders on the motorcycles all wore black helmets, hiding their faces. They were gripping guns tightly in their hands. At the same time, a black SUV was tailing us closely from behind. So close it felt like it could ram into us at any second. Miss, we have assassins. Hold on tight. Uncle Fu slammed his foot on the gas, and the car shot forward like an arrow released from a bow. The engine let out a low roar, and the car's body jolted violently. With Uncle Fu's sudden acceleration, our bodies were pressed even tighter together. Ren Jing's figure was just incredible. As we were squeezed together, I felt like my head was about to be buried. It was an almost suffocating sensation. Why you get up first? That thing of yours is digging into me, and it hurts. Ren Jing was utterly mortified and furious. She had never been this close to a man before.